University of Embu. Yeah, so it's great to see so many familiar faces. Yeah, and also some people who are new joining us tonight. Yeah, just to do a recap, yesterday we started our first session and we saw how generative AI can be used in our day-to-day activities, especially as developers. And so today we are going to integrate AI into real web applications. In this case, you're going to be using Angular. And yeah, you can see how you'll get to see how powerful generative AI can be. So for those who maybe didn't join us yesterday, the video is on YouTube. You can go and find it there. And also don't worry, because whatever you learn today, you'll be able to catch up. So before we start, the session will involve us having to use some credits, or rather some resources from Firebase, which are paid for. But considering this is a workshop or a training, we've provided free cloud credits which you can use throughout the session in order for you to access those resources. So in order for you to get the cloud credits, you can use this link here, trygcp.dev. You can use that link. It will be shared in the chat. And then once you've clicked on that link, it will take you to this page where you'll see an option to access your cloud credits. So once you access your cloud credits, you'll be given access to credits which are worth $5. Yeah, so that's the link. And you'll see an option where you get to fill your first and last name, but automatically it will fetch from your Google profile. And once you accept and continue, you'll be given a billing account, which you'll have to fill it. Yeah, and it will use a certain voucher code to give you the credit. So you can also go to the credits dashboard to see how much you're using. And yeah, you can also set a budget alert. In case you have any issue, you can just reach out to us and we'll be able to assist. So I guess with that, we can also talk about the Cloud Skill Boost, which is a platform where you get to get a lot of resources which you can use to learn some of the various Google technologies, e.g. the Google Cloud. And you'll also get to work with labs which are free. If you join the Innovators membership, you'll be getting 35 credits every month, and you'll get to play around with the labs without paying for anything. So I guess without a lot to say, let me just share the link in the chat so that first of all we can all go and redeem our cloud credits, because I believe today's session will be hands-on. We'll get to work practically with whatever we are building. And yeah, I guess that's all from my end. So I want to introduce Winnie Mandela, who is a community manager at Angular Kenya. Yeah, Winnie knows the Angular ecosystem inside and out, and she's passionate about helping developers to build smart applications. Yeah, so she's going to show us practical ways to integrate AI capabilities into Angular applications. And also, yeah, we learn how to implement it. So Winnie, over to you.
Hi everyone. Good. Don't know if it's good night. Good night for Kenyans. Good morning for other people who are not in the Kenyan time zone. Can you hear me, Alex?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay. Great. So, I'll be your host for today and your comedian as we learn about Build with AI workshop. So today I'll be talking about a concept called Fire extension, Firebase extensions, and how you can leverage the Gemini API, if I'm not wrong, and make it into a Firebase extension. So we shall mainly be consuming the existing labs which are already on the documentation side, but I'll try as much as possible to break them down for you to understand. I think we can have another separate session to talk about how to build a Firebase extension. So I think I have already been introduced by Alex. My name is Mandela. I am a product associate and I'm the community manager for Angular Kenya. And I hope that you will enjoy my session. Yes. Alex, I can't seem to share my screen. I have a weird cursor. Oh, okay. Thank you. The cursor is gone. Just a minute, I close my tab so that you people don't see unwanted screens that you should not see, and then I find myself being a meme of the developer tech space, tech community. I'll share entire screen. Yep. Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see your screen.
Oh, hey. Hi. Now let us start talking Japanese for the day. Hi. Fun fact, I am not a fan of presentations, so I like using READMEs for presentation. I believe that you as a developer or an upcoming senior engineer, you need to know how to document things, and documentation in the developer world is not done using Word documents, it's done using Markdown and some other weird languages which I can't seem to have interacted with. So for today, we shall be learning a concept called, as I said, Firebase extension, and I'll be switching from different browsers. So this is Mozilla. They had a new update. You see, we are almost reaching the MacBook era, and then I'll be using Edge, the favorite for the people who use Microsoft. Yes. Hi, let's continue now. So when it comes to AI, technically, there's been a lot of conversation in regards to what can you do with AI, blah, blah, blah. And I think the key thing that has been capturing most people is the Gemini API, since Google has released, we all know Gemini, Google Gemini, the normal one. So it has a couple of models, which is 1.5 Pro, etc, etc. So for today, we'll be looking at how can we leverage Firebase together with the Gemini API. However, since we don't want to do like all the work from scratch, there is a concept called Firebase extensions, whereby it's not something huge. It's more of like, instead of you doing repetitive backend activities, you create an extension and then you deploy it. They have a space called the Firebase Extension Hub over here. And then when you deploy it, you can use it in your application. So from the previous, the main reason why I'm using the Edge is because of the light mode. My dark mode is so dark, so I'm used to dark things. So I'm trying to change, self-love, new year, new me. Yes. So now for the Firebase extension, it can handle a couple of things. So these are the examples which I thought I should highlight, which might mainly, let me say, might relate with you if you do development and technically backend people, or if you have front-end people who decided to set their feet into the backend side, and reading the new languages is a bit hard. So a couple of that is like triggering emails via SendGrid or MailChimp. Alternatively, you would have go and create a service to do this from the Angular side. The other one might be translating text. And then you see, it's really not that you need to create all of this here. It's that if you come over here to all extension, you can see a couple which are there. I think the one that I know we like using is this one, search faster with Algolia. Yeah, I know we love Algolia. It's even in the Tailwind documentation. And you see over here, they are already built in Firebase extension. So it's up to you to decide which one you want. But as you can see, they are mainly built by the owners of the product. So like I see, Twilio has built for Twilio. I don't know what distributed counter does. Does it distribute cache? Whoa, okay. Yeah, so that is technically all about Firebase extension. So you might be asking yourself, how is Firebase extension built? So this is more of like a combination of several Firebase tools, and then they're combined to form one. So an example might be, let's give an example of this one, run payments with Stripe. So if you come and check, technically, if you are to assume that you are doing, I think I'll just have to open my IDE at this point. Don't worry, we have the code here. the markdown file. This is not code though. Let's give an example here. So this will be example here. Example. Can you guys see my code or I mean my screen or I zoom in? You know, most of us are blind people. We wear four eyes, macho ini. Can you guys see my screen?
Oh, yes, you can see your screen.
Can you see my code? Can you see? Or it's tiny?
Actually, I think it's big.
It's big. Okay, the better. Great. So let's give an example. If you'll be running payments with Stripe, so this is an example over here. So it means how you'll handle this would be you would need to have, let's say, like a list of, let me say, items. So I like food. So it will be, let's say, list of chicken. It will be a list of chicken. And then from the list of chicken, you'll also need to know the user who is logged in. And then you will also have to know, let me say, price of one chicken, price of the selected chicken or kitchen chicken. Yeah, chicken. Great. So if you are to do this, it means you would have to create a service that would have, so I'm speaking in Angular terms. If you are to do this in Angular, it means you would have to create a service that will be able to go fetch the selected chicken from this list of chicken. From there, get who is the logged in user. From there again, come and get the price of it, and then you'll have to now connect that price to the Stripe API. Alternatively, what you'd have done is, since if I'm not wrong, this one will mainly deal with faster. This one as well will also deal with faster, since you'll be getting the collection from the chicken collection. And then for the user who logged in this, you would use authentication. And then for the authentication, for this whole thing to communicate with your Stripe developer API, it means you would have used the cloud functions technically to do that. Otherwise, if you're a fan of code, you would write all this code. So instead of having all of this as a separate code piece, what you can do is you can convert the whole of this to be a Firebase extension, and then you deploy it, and then you can use it. If you would like to explore more on how to build Firebase extension, you'll come over here to the Firebase documentation here. I think, okay, let me repeat how I went so that you don't get lost. You'll come over here, go to docs. Then when you select docs, it will come over here. And as you can see, Firebase extension is still in a beta release. So there's a bit of ish, but it's good to explore and set your, and like, yes, get into that field with your own food. So you'll go after you come here, you scroll on this side, and they also have like case studies that you can follow on how to install one, manage, and even have case studies. So you'll scroll down until you see build and publish extension, and then you can come and select overview. And then when you select overview, it will show you how like a typical extension look like. And this is how the code base will be. So if you can see, it says it has the cloud function code, and then it has the metadata, which describes your extension. And then this is the documentation to help your users configure and use your extension. So I think this is what people refer to as let me say technical writing or maybe developer experience. So it's much easier for any developer to either use your extension and also build on top of it. And then this is what you'll get technically. So you have all the instructions over here. I won't be going through this, all of it, but we shall be using one of the extension that was built by Google that is leveraging on the Gemini API. So just wanted to give context on what we'll be using and so that you can know what a Firebase extension is. So once you're done with that, we'll go back to our Firebase extension over here, come back to all extension, and then we'll come on this side and filter the category to be AI. So when you filter the category to be AI, I am seeing everything here is almost AI. Oh, we have something called SemaDB. Hey man, let's see what it is. Sorry, OCD is kicking in. Ah, sorry, I can't see Semafind. This is a bug, correct? Yeah, this is a bag. Eh? Okay, sorry. I'm also a QA, so I can see errors just everywhere. So you'll come over here, select AI, and then you can scroll down and filter based on the publisher. So I think I'll select Google Cloud if I'm not wrong. And then we have these two extension. So for one, so you back to our presentation. Sorry, whose account is this? I have a lot of accounts. Let me just close this. That's mine. I think we can use this one over here. So for this, yeah, so you'll come. That's one way. You can go through the Firebase Extension Hub. You come, you filter, and then you select Build Chatbot to the Gemini API. However, I won't go through that approach because it needs me to change my email address, and I already have another account that I want to use here. So I'll go the second approach. The second approach is you come back to your Firebase project. So I already created a project over here which I called it NG Talks. So I'll just get into it. If you haven't, you'll just go through the normal procedure what do I say this, of creating the project. So I want to show you how to install the extensions over here. So when you come to your Firebase project, this is how it technically looks. So I'm a dark mode person. So my deepest apologies if it is too dark for your life. I'm so sorry. We are trying to bring light. When you come over here to your Firebase console, here is where you get all your project settings, whereby I think we'll get most of our configurations from here once we have added an web application. But you also have an option of of accessing the extension. So you might create a project from your side, but you won't see the extension. This is because for some reason, the project shortcut, I think it's more of like populated based on what you are using. Because in this case, if an example, I come here and I select authentication, you do notice that authentication is added there. If I come and let's say I select like fast or database, you'll notice that it's there. So it depends on your recent history. Alternatively, you just come over here to build and then you scroll and then you look for extensions. And then from the extension part, it will ask you, do you want to install the extensions? And it even lists for you the let me say the ones that they would like you to test, because I think this is more of like a product thing. I being a product associate, we tend to be more of like would like users to use and interact with this. So we provide them as recommendations. Or alternatively, you might find that a lot of users have been interacting with these three extensions. So by default, we make the assumption that all users will be using this. So you'll come and since you're doing the first one, which is building a chatbot with the Gemini API, you'll come and select install. If you can't see your extension, just click view extension. So if you come over here, you notice that it's a new project and it's telling me that I need to set up billing for my account since by default, all Firebase projects are on the Spark plan. So you need to upgrade to the Blaze plan. And this is why you are given the credits by Alex team to redeem. So you come and select upgrade project to continue. Glory be to the Lord. And then from here, you'll have to create a billing account. I just hope they won't ask me for a credit card kindly, because I wanted to do this live, so I didn't test it. Let's praise the Lord, guys. Yay. Okay. Hi, Alex. How do I proceed from here? Do I still continue?
Oh, hi. Uh, okay, I guess we already got our billing account.
Hmm?
I guess you have a billing account already. Maybe you can continue and then we'll see.
You already have a billing account, but it's not being seen here. Because, oh, trial.
Yeah, the account.
Trial. So this one. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll guess budget amount used in USD. They're not rich people. Hey, even fake Bob is a lot. One bar. Okay. I'm not so sure though. How many credits do we have?
It's $5 worth of credits.
Oh, $5. Let me just put $5 so that we eat all of them. And then you click continue and then you select link cloud billing account. Our Heavenly Father, we pray that the demo. Oh, okay. It has been upgraded to the Blaze plan. Great. So that's the first thing. You don't need to worry about what to do from here since technically this is why in the I can't remember this page over here. This is why over here they said that they have file called extension.yml. I think it's what it's what tells us like what a user needs to configure. So when you be clicking your extension, this is what will determine the access and other information that is needed. So back to our where I don't know where I was. Oh, in Gtalks. Okay. I think I'll just close this other tab so that you don't get confused like me. You know, if the teacher is confused, it goes down to the students. Good. So now, after you've set up your billing, since it needs to be in a Blaze plan, we've done that. You will need to come and enable all this. So in most cases, if you haven't enabled it, it will tell you enable, like you see over here, it tells you enable. If you have enabled it, it will show you this way. And as you can see from here, it looks like the resources that are needed by this extension is the Vertex AI API, we have the cloud functions, we have the secret manager, and then I don't know what this is, but technically it's explaining what cloud functions will be needed and also the API key. So I'll just click enable since I didn't build this extension. So I don't know what is happening behind the scenes. So we'll just enable, but keep in mind that other things such as a secret manager might tend to take a few minutes to like update before they work. So you might also like encounter some other challenges as you're using your solution, as you're using your extension in your project. And then you come and select next, and then from here it basically tells you what access it needs in order to work. So in this case, it's a Firebase project. So you will only see Firebase stuff over here and other advanced things that I have no idea what they're doing, like the secret manager, secret accessor. This is a good name to save someone as a contact on your phone. Allows the extension to read secret values from Cloud Secret Manager. This one is for those people who like borrowing money. Send me 100 bob, 50 bob. You should save them that way. So after you have reviewed access and granted, okay, after you've granted access to the extension based on what it will need, you just select next, and then this is now where most of the work will be. So if you see over here, we are supposed to select between Google AI and Vertex AI technically. And this one basically depends with what you're doing. So when we come back to my PPT over here, Gemini API. Okay, I can say like Gemini is the father, and then the children is Google AI and Vertex AI. So there is no difference. It basically depends on what you're doing. So in this case, as you can see over here, we have Google AI Studio, Vertex AI, and this one is the typical way. That's if you're using the REST API or SDKs to consume it. So in our case, we will have to ask ourselves, are we using Vertex AI or Google AI? So I can say Google AI is for MVP. So in this case, if I was doing a simple MVP solution for listing the type of chicken, so in that case would be I as a farmer come take a photo of the chicken, and then my let me say AI. I heard people say my AI will come and be like, oh, that chicken has brown, this chicken is this breed, this chicken is this breed. So if it was that, since I only want to like validate a concept, then it's advisable you use Google AI. But if you are building something huge, or let me say like a production, you will use Vertex AI. So here's a brief table. You'll find this on the GitHub repo that I'll share that has this simple summary that shows which is good for GCP, where can you use it if you're using Firebase, and other stuff. So it depends with with your pocket, number one, and also with what project are you doing. If you have money, go to Vertex AI. If you have a lot of credits that you've been given and you'd like to explore, you select Vertex AI. If you're just there for the fun, Google AI might be it, since it will just help you do one, two, three. So I won't use Google AI as much as I'm telling you it is for quick demo. We will use Vertex AI, and then from here you don't need to update all the thank you. You don't need to update all the fields. The only field that you might need to change over here might be the Firestore collection path. So in this case, we haven't created a collection path so far. So I'll just call these chickens. And then, so this is the name of the Firestore collection path. And then we have the prompt field. So how this works is when you run this extension on your Firebase, let me say on your Firestore, it will go to your Firestore, and then it will look for a collection called chickens, and then it will look for what question has been added on the field called a prompt, and then it will give you a response based on, it will give you a response in a field called response. So I think I'll write that here so that we don't get confused. So this will be the collection. It goes to the collection, and then our collection is called chicken. Oh God, time is up. Then after the collection being called chicken, it will give a prompt, and the prompt will be, this is technically the filter, this will be the question. So this question we can ask, what is a hen? And then we'll get the response in a field called response. That's what is happening. So now when you come over here, I can decide to rename this, and let me say, like, call it cuckoo response. Cuckoo response. And then I don't know what this does, but you can check. Okay, to order the fetching. So this one is, it will be getting like an actual chatbot. But since we're just doing something simple, those are the key things that you will change. You'll change the faster collection, and it's not a must to change the response field, but you can change it. And then you come and select install extension, if I'm not wrong. So I select install extension, and for some weird reason it's not. You'll have to select the cloud location. So I think I'll just select Lower US Central one because it's the one that has the free tier. If you go to these other ones, I think you'll have to pay. Yeah, it will increase your payment. So we select install extension. Yeah, and then we'll have to wait for 3 to 5 minutes for it to be installed. Technically, that is the procedure of installing the an extension in Firebase. Hi, as we wait for one, we could be installing our other extension. Or do you guys have any question before I proceed? Do you guys have any question, or we wait for 2 to 5 minutes? We can also be talking stories. Yes, analyzing the new content in the tech world. Or we'll just stare at each other here. Amen. Amen, Kakio. John 3:16. As we wait for 3 to 5 minutes to complete. I am seriously wondering what is happening in these 3 to 5 minutes. Let me see. Ah!
Oh, hello, Winnie. There's a question in the chat.
There's a question in the chat.
Yeah.
What does fine-grained control mean? Fine-grained control. Hey, I'm just like, you also don't know. I got that response from ChatGPT. Talk about creativity. I think it somehow means that you are able to modify. Let us just check that one as well. But from what I am understanding, I think it means that you can dictate how a response should be given. Because if I give an example of my, I don't know if this thing is working. Just a minute, just a minute, just a minute, just a minute. App hyphen all talks.ts, all talks.html. No, it's env. Environment.dev.ts. I know immediately after this talk is done, I am clearing my API key. I know people. I know what you people do. Okay. I'm not sure if this will load. It's a simple application I did long time ago. Let's see, sign in. Okay, let me give an example of this one over here, this talk. You see, if this response, I got this response from the multimodal that long extension name. I don't know what the extension is called. So I think when you say fine grained, it's more of like you can specify how you would want this to be returned. So apart from Gemini, or let me say Vertex AI, just providing a response for you like sure, you can specify you'd like this to be categorized in terms of heading content that way, and like you doing this. But however, to be safe, let us just Google and then we see what the technical editors have given us. If you need fine-grained access control, you can refer to this mapping to create custom rules. I also don't know, I've just been talking my own things. Let us see. Fine-grained control. Hey, this is a lot. Where's the name fine-grained? Oh, oops. Oh. The following table maps generative AI operations to the permissions required for the operation. If you need fine-grained access control, you can refer to this mapping to create custom rules. Oh, you see, I was correct. When I was reading the documentation, I was wondering what's the difference between Google AI and Vertex AI. Me, ChatGPT, shwa. Yeah, and then it gave me that. I never thought to look. But here's your answer. Who asked that question as we wait for our extension to take its sweet time? Now I did not vibe code my project readme. The only part that I copy pasted was this part over here. Where is it? This one. This here. Because I only know Firebase. I hadn't gone deep into Vertex AI and Google AI Studio. What is the meaning of vibe coding? Coding with high energy. Is there a means? I don't think you can be a Firebase ambassador, but you can be a Firebase GTE. Or maybe, yeah, I think so. I'm not so sure. Hey, we have an error, guys. What will we do? Some extensions might not be deployed. View the error details above to help you retry installing. Okay, what happened? Hey, okay, I think for this one, I think yeah, this is, I have no idea what is happening technically, but in most cases, I'm assuming that the error might be because of the service. Remember while we were enabling this, there's a secret manager that we enabled. We will need to, let's see. Uh, we don't have a file. Oh, yeah, we don't have a file base. Anyway, at least it has installed. Okay. I know where the error is. It's not what I was assuming, but yes. Great. At least it has tried installing. So let's proceed to where we are. Now, we shall go back to our application, which is over here, the project overview, and then we will create our first application, which will be our web app. So I'll click this and then I'll call it, I wonder what it's doing. I'll call it NG Talks, and then, okay, I'll set it up for that. And then you can register the app. And then after we register, let's see, my time is almost over. So I think I'll skip that. I select next, then I go to next. I have already installed that. Then I can continue to the console. So after we've created our own application, since if you remember, our extension was supposed to use a Firestore. So you'll come over here to build and then select your Firestore database over here, and then you come and enable it. So create database, and then we wait for it to load, and then yeah, by default, correct everything. Then next. Yeah, we can start though. You can be a guru and do production mode and then create. And you wait for it to create as it's provisioning. I wonder what's up with the term. What's the difference between provisioning and creating? Great. And it loads up. So it's advisable that you test your extension first before going to code. So you'll come here, start a collection. Our collection, we called our collection. I've forgotten. I'm so sorry. Let us see details. See details, see details, see details. Yeah, we called it chickens. Chickens, not cuckoo, chickens. So we'll come to Firestore database, and then we create a collection, and we'll call the collection chickens, and then we create next. So by default, you'll create an auto ID, and then you can give the field, let's say, 10. Yeah, now let's say type. Then here for the string, I don't know types of chicken. Sorry, I only know broiler. I don't know if we have any other types of chicken. Welcome to agriculture, guys. Hey, we have Silky. Hi, Silky. I'm not in an English class, so we go back to our ng talks here, and we say it's a type called Silky, and we remove that, and then we create save. Yeah, save. Let's see. So if we go back to our extension, since it said that there was an error in installing because Firestore was not enabled, we'll say retry installing, of which I think it's going to take another 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, as it reinstalls for the 3 to 5 minutes, we can go back to our Firestore database, and then we can create another collection, and this collection will be called talks. And the collection for talks, what happens is you'll have an auto ID, and then here we'll just have the name of a speaker, add another field, let me say like title, and then, oh, I need to provide a name. Let me just use Mandela. No, sipendi supu ya kuku, sipendi supu ya hapana. What will I use? Tom Lee, Lee Chong, DJ Afro, into the Badlands. And then we can add, what else? Let us be realistic. Let's say Firestore. Firestore in Angular, we stop joking. Firestore in Angular. And then, is there another thing else? No, maybe we can add a date, and we can give the date to be a timestamp, something like that, something simple. Oh, I need to give it. That's a lot of work that I had forgotten. And then we click save. Save. Yeah, so we have another collection called talks. So for the chicken, we'll use it for the build chart extension, which I don't know if it's still installing, this one. And then for the other one down that we've created, the talks one, we'll use it for the multimodal API, the multimodal Gemini API extension. So as the chicken one is deploying, since it's taking 5 minutes, I don't know. Do you have any other question here? You want to master first? Fabis. Yeah, that's one. Another one. You can just read the documentation. Learn how to read the documentation. It will make you understand more. Yeah, as compared to doing labs. Yeah. Another might be to just replicate simple solution. An example might be, see the way we have Bavy over here, you can replicate this, but let it use, how do you call it? Let it use Firebase. Yeah. Bavy is this platform that you are using over here. It's called Bavy. Yeah. Okay. As we wait for our extension to be loading, which is taking its sweet time, like some people's salary over here. Hey, that's a lot. Let's go and add another extension. Explore extensions. So we'll come and add it's AI, and then I want Google. Google multimodal task with Gemini API. And technically, this extension will be working on the collection called Talks. So this is a problem again. How will I do that? Extension. Now, how will I do that without showing my Ninja? Build. Okay, I mean, guys, I think I'll have to stop sharing for a while. Gemini, Talks, Base console, change to GTG, Embo, load, and then come back and share my screen. Window 1, entire screen, allow, okay, loaded. Then we come to Google Gemini Talks, all extension for Base console. Yeah. Then I select this. After selecting, it will by default prompt me with all the necessary question. And yes, I am in the Blaze plan, so I don't need to be asked that. I'll need to enable this, which is the Firebase storage. Yeah, because this one uses Firebase storage technically, because it's mainly used to analyze images, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, see it next. Done. Unknown error occurred. Please refresh the page. Who did what to my screen, to my error? I will have to come and enable Firebase storage on this side. Really? Let's see. This is on my. This should go. Just a minute. NG Talks. Oh, this one has deployed. A minute I set up Firebase storage. Get started. Yeah. Data. No cost location. Create. Let's hope it's going to allow. It won't tell me we have an error as well from this side. This is taking a while and I have 10 minutes to do that. Okay, great. So now we go back to our extension part, which was, that was it. There are a lot of things that I don't know what they're doing here. Publisher overview, install extension. Okay. Next, and then we come and select next. So we already accepted most of the things. So we go to next, and then as default, we'll just have to come here, change this to Vertex AI, and then come and change our collection path, which will be talks, and then for the prompt. So this is where this is where the difference is. I think I'll pause here. And then we go back to our extension, our previous extension. This one over here, the build chatbot with Gemini API. Since I had told you guys that before you use this extension on your code base, or let me say on your code, you will need to come and like test it. So technically, what happens is you come back to your Firestore database, and then you come back to our collection for chicken. And if you remember, we had specified that we shall have a field called prompt. So what will happen is you will call this field a prompt, and then you will ask a question. What type of chicken, is, don't know if this will work, don't know if it's double or triple, and then we can place type. Let's see. Oh, oops. I don't think it will work. Oh, it worked. You see, so let it load. I'm not sure. Please provide me with the type of chicken. So I think it's one. Yes? Any question? Not loading. It is not loading. Just a minute. Oh no, that is wrong. Just a minute, guys. I need to check something. I don't know if I'm using a single braces or two. In Angular, we use two. This other one, we're using one. Yeah, let me just check. Faster database. Just a minute. Food. I think it's in talks. And I'd like to see completed. Give me a summary of the title. That's what's happening. A minute. I want to check something. Oh yeah, it's double, but it's on the other side. Okay, back to our presentation. Sorry. So in this case over here, let's add another chicken so that it can work. So you can select add document, and then it will give an auto ID, and then for this we'll give a type, and we will give our types of chicken, which I forgot. Types of chicken, not the normal type of chicken that we have. Plymouth Rock. What? This is that. Oh, is that called black and white? In Gitox. And then you provide the name there, and then we add another field called a prompt. What type of chicken is that? Okay, let's select what type of chicken is Plymouth Rock. It shouldn't be this way. It should be something there. What type of chicken is this? Let's see. I hope it works. If it doesn't work, I'll just have to go back and confirm. Okay, hi guys, welcome to debugging session 101, and I see my hour is almost up. Just a minute, I recheck how I configured this other one so that I can see what we have done wrong. We've given food, recipe, food, order field, create time, use central. So if I do Firebase database for the food, let's see. What recipe can I make from mushrooms? Food mushrooms. Okay. So I guess I'm correct then. I don't think I'm the one who's asking the prompt wrongly. And this is where you get people who are called prompt engineers. So if you add another document here, and you add the auto ID and you provide the name, I think we can do the same again. Type, and then you provide here, add field, and then you can give the question prompt. And then you ask what type of chicken is, and then you paste there, save. So when you save, we are expecting to see it processing, and then it gives us a solution. So this is whereby you get the Plymouth Rock is a popular breed of blah, 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 and all that information. So the one was asking what's the essence of the fine-grained, that long name. You can take this and specify how you would like the response to come. And you see, you can go further and like, let me see if I can add another field. Let me see. Not sure if this will work. Can I make food? Name it food with it. Not sure if this will work though. That's testing. Okay, I don't think it will work, but if I go to another field, add another document, specify the auto ID, and then I say the type, and let's say I can even just give like a simple prompt alone, and even say what recipe can I make from, place this here, and save, it should trigger the question being asked. And you can see we get a status, it's processing, and then it shows you the response. Since is a dual breed, you can use this to make this. So this is what the build chatbot does. But now for the other extension that you are trying out is a bit different. What it does is you specify it from the extension side. Because you see for over here, it's more of like you're having a conversation. This one is mainly used for building a chatbot. Well, the other extension, which is more of like over here, the multimodal task with the Gemini API, for here, I'll come and specify that in my collection, which is more also over here, in my collection called talks. If I have over here, I have this document. I would like to get a summary of the talk that has been provided here. So I will come back here as I'm configuring it, since I had paused for you to see this, and the prompt will be give me a summary of, place that, and then you do I think it's one place, title. And what happens is it will come, go to the talks, and then it will give a summary. So how this works behind the scenes, I'm just looking for this. I'll explain to you later. Is Vertex AI. I haven't picked the location. It's what I'm looking for. Cloud function location. Yeah, lower. Yes. So how this works is, I think there is a cloud function behind the scenes. And what the cloud function does is it listens that every time a new talk is added, it returns the summary. That's what also happening for the chatbot part. So you'll come over here, and once you're done, you'll click install extension. And let's see. Install extension. It's gonna take another 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah, as you wait for it. Yeah, you can be asking your questions. And your time is over. Have you ever built a Firebase extension at 850? I am supposed to do that on the next call. I think Alex will arrange for that. Based on your experience, what are the basics one should know to build an Angular? Experience. I'm not sure, and I don't think if I'll be able to go through the Angular code, but I'll share the link to the repo, and then you can follow along. I think the basics that you will have to know should be, let me say, file structure and arrangement. Technically, what goes where and what does what. That's one. The second one should be routing, and then I can say components. Once you're done with that, then the rest is easier for you to like be onboarded on. Because like in this case, if I'll have time, since I can see my session is almost over. Yeah, my session is even over. Like this one, this is a simple application, and what it does is it handles login through signing in your Firebase, the anonymous authentication. And when somebody clicks sign in, it should be able to fetch talks from our what? From our this thing over here, this Firebase project. And for that, I think the only thing you need to know how to do is, I think this is a simple one. So the first one will be, this is a bug. I'll have to fix it. So the first one would be, I think, just displaying content, you being able to show NG Kenya talks, blah, blah, blah. That is one. And then the second one is, let me say, more of creating pure versus impure components. So pure is whereby they're just showing data, but they're not like fetching or doing whatever. There's something which is fetching the data. And then from there, the other one that you might want to know might be routing. Get some routing over here. Yeah. And then moving from one place to another. We will be launching a roadmap, I think, by the end of it's called what? By the end of, is it May? No, chapter May. By the end of, I can say October, something that Angular Kenya is building up, and you can use our roadmap to build on that. Yeah, you can also use roadmap.sh, but I highly advise you use somebody called Deborah Kurata. She's on YouTube, and she teaches really well Angular. And also the other person that I might advise you to watch is called Codevolution. As much as his sessions are a minute. I'm typing the word code. Evolution. Yeah. As much as his sessions are more of outdated, he kind of like breaks down the documentation very well into tiny pieces that a beginner can understand. Once you're done watching code evolution, then now you can come and use roadmap.sh. Yeah. Yes. So I think I'll just connect Firebase to the Angular project and then you can see if is it working or am I talking French. Okay. If I'm not wrong, that's the only thing, and then I can leave you guys to go. I'll share the code base. I've seen someone asking somewhere here. So as we wait, I think I can configure the project. So all you'll have to do is come here to settings, then project settings, and then we come and get this beautiful Firebase config over here. And when you come over here to Angular, I think I'll explain this a bit before we proceed. You'll paste it over here. So for Angular, when you generate a new project, by default, you just do ng-new, the name of the project, and then this is Angular version 20, so a bit of things have changed. So an example is when you're generating a component, you won't see app.component.ts, you'll just see app.ts.html. So in Angular, we have a template file, which is the HTML version, and then we have a routes.ts, which handle routes. So if you're doing React, this is more like React router. And then we have a source file, which is the normal CSS file. And then we have the spec file, which is for testing. So in Angular, we do mainly class-based development, but there are a couple of features which add supporting functions, but that is not the talk for today. Yes. So when you come to my application over here, it has a couple of storage rules which might be useful if you will be, let me say, like an example is if you'll be using the multimodal API to handle images, then you will come and interact with that. Other than that, the only other thing that you might interact with is the angular.json, which more also dictates what the Angular application needs, what is it using, the architecture, what's the name of the application, if it's built, where does it go, if you have SSR enabled and other stuff like that. And then for the file structure, at core has the most important things, which is layout. And then at features has the different features, which is other talk, all talks, talk details. And then at shared has like now the things which are shared in terms of component, models, and services. Yeah, technically. So when you come here, the entry point is the HTML file. And for the HTML file, we have this thing called the router outlet. And the router outlet is what allows us to move from one route to another. So an example might be if you come over here to Gemini API, and I have no idea why this side navbar is that way. I'll just have to clear that bug before I push code. So I'll come and click sign in. If I click sign in, oh, I know why. I forgot to enable. Oh, this is installed. Yay! I forgot to enable anonymous authentication on this new project. So get started, and then you'll get the gist of where everything is once you learn Firebase. So don't worry. Enable. Save. Yes. So when I come back over here to my application and I reload and I click sign in, I should sign in. If it does not sign in, I think you're dead. Missing or insufficient permissions. There's something I did not save over here. Okay, so my application is goofed. I don't know where I will have to do that since I have enabled anonymous signing. I don't know how I'm going to do that now. Yes, but here it's telling me other things which I don't know. Let's see. It says that I'm caught in promise. So I think Number 21. All talks. I think I'll debug this later. I think I'll debug this later. Yep. Now I'm not using this one. This is not working. Get talks, and yeah, I called it talks. I don't know why it's not working though. Faster database. 8 minutes. Yeah, it's called talks. So I don't know why it's not doing that. Okay, anyway, let's proceed. I wanted to show you guys how it would look like. Oh, it's working. Hey, I was like, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amen. Okay, let's see. I'm not so sure. So, yeah, okay. Let's just do the last thing. So if you sign in, we're supposed to see the talk from here. So we can come here and select add talk, and we can add a new talk from our database from here. That I don't know why I have these errors, but let's assume it's going to work. So over here, I'll add the speaker to be roster. And let me give an example. Frank Sitawa. We gave a talk last time, and it's going to be Angular Schematics 101. 101, and then I don't have a slide link, so we'll just select NGRX. And then here for the talk description, I don't know, anything CLI, an example. So when I select add talk, I expect it to add it, but I'm not sure if it's going to add technically because of URL is not a valid URL. Yeah. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Fake filler. Let's use a fake filler and change this to Frank Sitao. And then here we can do Angular schematics. Yeah, 101. Yes. Anything? CLI. Let's hope this works. If it doesn't, guys, I'll stop there. Insufficient permissions. Okay. That's a bug for another day since it has refused, guys. It has refused. Okay, I think I'll fix that later. Yeah, I think it's something to do with the rules for the Firestore. And let's see. No, rules. So allow read write. Should I also allow here? Anyway, I think I'll fix that later. So I just wanted to show you how the extension should work typically, and then I'll send you the Firebase, the Angular code, and then you can modify it to see it working. So over here, I'll come and add a new document. In that case, add an auto ID, and then the field now. I'll add this to be a title, and then I give this feedback like Angular schematics, and then I select save, and I hope that it will trigger the question. Yes, and please, I need the title to be replaced with the actual title of the text. And yes, great. So just a minute. I come back here to extension, get started. I will need to reconfigure this again. Extension configuration. And let me just confirm how I configured for this one as well. Because I remembered also last time I had a similar bug with it. There's a particular way in which you need it's double braces. That's why I'm wondering. So I come back to my ng talks over here, and then you'll have to come and reconfigure the extension again. So when you reconfigure, This should work perfectly well if the Lord is with me. And the only problem is this extension will take another 3 to 5 minutes to update the configuration. Yeah. Other than that, I think you can ask your question. Yeah, that's all from my side today. I'll be sending to somebody who requested if we can see the code base. Yes, you can. I haven't pushed the latest code, but here is the link to the repo. The dev-ui branch has the UI. The main branch will be the default one once I'm done cleaning up the code. Yeah. As you wait for 3 to 5 minutes, you can ask your questions. Or I can be fixing this thing over here. This is the storage rules. So Firebase database rules. Let me see. Allow read, write, if false. I don't know, should I write this true to true? I have no idea. Let me see. True. Publish. That'll be with me. Let's see. Let's try. I hope it works. And talk. Okay. So it works. So if I load this page over here, can't seem to see the talks though. So sorry guys, we are debugging live here on the call as we wait for our extension to take its sweet time. Alltalks.ts, and I would like to see what this is. Console.log talks. Okay, let's see. What do we get from here? We get 3, and each of them has a title. So now the question is, what is wrong with my code? Or I need to sign in. This is the other problem. Oh yeah, it's that. I need to sign in. So yes. And you can see here we have our talk. So we have first in Angular, Frank Sitawa. This is a bug that I need to fix though. So whoever is going to get this code, I hope you get it when I'm done. Let's add another talk. We see if it's going to work. Angular schematics 101. Oh, that's the name of the talk. And then here, let's have Wingaku. I'm just getting speakers so I know. Yeah, so for that one, I don't know where I can get a valid URL. Okay. Sign in, add talk, fake filler, Wingaku, talk title, that Angular 1. Yeah, it's this is the problem of being a designer. Yeah, and then let's see, add talk. Hopefully it adds. Then I need to sign out. That's a bug. Yeah, it adds, here it is. But for some reason, I'm not displaying the, oh, it's here, Wingaku, Angular schematic. So if we click get summary, this should be populated, but it is not populating. So which means our extension is not working and we need to debug that. If I'm not wrong, so talks and then Wingaku. Oh, it's working. Oh, it's called output. Yeah, so which means I'll come back to my code over here, go to my talk detail, and then after my talk detail, down here, where I have written dot summary, I should put it as dot output. That's another problem since I have to the name here, but don't try this at home. Okay, this is pure practice of code. Output string. Let's see, output of type string. So if I come and save this, and I come to my UI, I should see this bunch of text in my UI though. Here, yeah, there we have our Angular schematics 101, and it has been given a summary. And technically, this is how you can consume the Gemini API in regards to using Firebase extension. So maybe a couple of things that I was supposed to do here might be to style this into something presentable. So that can be like another assignment that you can do as a pet project. And the other one would be now handle the authentication state, that is the signing anonymously, to be done well. Other than that, that is the end of my talk. Yeah, I hope you guys have learned something. Yes. Any question? Sorry for going past 9. No, is any question? Is the session live? Yeah, it's live from Nairobi. I guess it's also on YouTube. Right, Alex? Alex can help us there.
Yeah, this session is live on YouTube. Yeah, you can go and watch it.
Okay. Great.
Yeah, in case you have a question, you can
All
ask
right.
it in the chat or request for presenter permission.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
guess
basic.
if you're all good, we can give a thumbs up in the chat.
Okay. Should now be in my code. In my code.
We know you have a question. Someone is asking if we can use other options apart from Firebase.
If we can use other options apart from Firebase.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess I think you can use as well. I think it just depends with how you can consume the model. Because from my side, I was using Fabric extension. From your side, you can go the REST API way. Yeah, the Gemini API, if I'm not wrong. Yes. I think you can even try and combine Gemini API together with Superbase. Yeah, we see how that will turn out. Good luck. You can share your code base with review. Thank you. Okay. For the questions, there's somebody who asked about the roadmap to becoming a developer. You can book a call separate with me, and then I can help you craft one based on your skill set. Technical. Yeah. Okay. Alex, do you have any other question? Or I can go and start cooking galimayai?
okay. I don't think there's any other question. Maybe you can also leave how the people can contact you in case they need something, your LinkedIn, GitHub, or email.
Oh, okay. You can get me on LinkedIn. Let me get my profile. I'm not active, but at least I repost people who tag me. We like your dedication in hey, you say I have 22 people, 22 notifications. I wonder. People just wake up and post on LinkedIn a whole post instead of posting a whole video on GitHub. Hey, priorities. Um AWS, I'm assuming you're talking about Amazon Web Services, if I'm not wrong. To a developer, it depends what you want to do. If you're a backend person, then I think having a strong cloud background will work for you. If you're a front-end person, I think working with the backend as a service will give you much more leverage because you'll know how to present and ask for data from the backend person. But with that being said, cloud knowledge would also be like a plus if you're a front end person. So it depends. If you're a QA, I don't think you have any option. You just need to know cloud, whether you like it or not. It is not an option to skip all. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think
Yeah.
that's all.
Okay. I guess since we don't have any other question, we can now. Yeah, it's getting late, and I think we can now release everyone. So Winnie, that was brilliant, and yeah, we thank you for dedicating your time to train us, and also yeah, thank you for being here, and also thanks to everyone for being here. You can scan the QR code on the screen to get your Build with AI attendee badge. And remember that our series is still going on up to next week on Tuesday. So tomorrow I'll be the speaker and we'll be doing a integrating Flutter with Gemini. And I look forward to seeing you all. So I guess that's it from my end. I want to thank all of you, everyone who has taken part, even those who are watching us live on YouTube. I want to thank all of you for joining, and thanks again, Winnie. I mean, thanks to everyone. Yeah, have a good night.